Good morning. Have y'all heard the song Rough Side of the Mountain? It's an old song. I would sing it for y'all, but I feel like when I try to belt it out, it ain't gonna come out. But I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain. Oh gosh, I can't even remember the song. Let me tell you, that's just how rough my morning is, okay? I feel like I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain. The teens had this genius idea last night, that teen of mine, that she wanted to get dressed up and go to dinner. That was at 8 o'clock. Then at 9 o'clock, she's still not ready. And so we finally walk out of the door at 9:20. Now it's late. I don't eat that late, but the baby wants to go out. She wants to get all dressed up. She told me I had to put some rouge on my face, and we wanted to go. So we went out, and I got a salad because it was late, and I don't eat late. But let me tell you, I was awakened at 5:41 this morning, and I tried to read and do my little devotional and my little meditation. But around about 6 something ish, I went back to sleep. I wanted to get up at 6 o'clock and go walking, but that was not happening because, again, I felt like I got ran over by a Mack truck. They also told me I can't go out with them when I'm tired because I'm grumpy. So a grumpy and hungry Tashara makes for a very, very, very bad combination. Anyways, but here we are, back up, walking again. Good morning. And it is early, my usual time of walking. And I pause as I try to figure out what I'm going to say next. Like, I know what's in my head, but trying to figure out how I'm actually going to say it. So let me start here. In my devotion this morning, I was supposed to be reading Romans 6, and I somehow ended up on 1 Corinthians 6. And 1 Corinthians 6, there was a verse, and I believe it's verse 12, that says all is permitted, but not all is good, and then or beneficial. And then it repeats the phrase that all is permitted. So when I went to go do my deep dive, it actually said all is lawful. And it started to refer to when it is asked, I think it says 32 times in the New Testament, is it lawful? And the first thing that came to my mind is, just because you can does not mean you should. You know, we are humans and we have free will. And for those of us that are over 18, we are adults. And so we have the decision. Good morning. We have the ability to make whatever decisions that we want to make and do whatever it is that we think that we are big and bad enough to do. But just because we can do it, just because it is allowed, just because the law says that it is permissible, does not mean that it should happen. And funny, I've been thinking about that for a while when I think about some things that have happened in my life and some of the decisions that have been made for me and about me and not with me. And I keep having this recurring theme of just because you can does not mean that you should. And since I don't really like using the word should, let me rephrase. Just because it is lawful does not make it okay. What am I saying to you? Choose better. Simply just choose better. Choose to do better. Choose to be better. Choose to show up better. Choose to show up differently. The world says right now that we, especially here in the United States, that we are allowed to do so many things that I'm like, but this is not beneficial to anyone. Well, this is not beneficial to the minority. There are so many things that the law says, yes, you can do it, but they are so harmful. Just because a law says that you can, just because a policy says that you can, just because it is permissible, if you are a person of faith and you call yourself a believer and a Christian and you are following the life of Christ, then the way in which you respond to things ought to be different. Why? Because just because it is allowed, just because it is permissible, does not mean that it is okay. So today, on the 22nd day, do better, choose better, show up better, and make better decisions. That's all I got for you. Have a super fantastic day.